back to our YouTube channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books that we're reading for our podcast in the months of July, August, and September. So this is like the third quarter TBR for the podcast. We'll just go ahead and get into it. The first one we're going to be reading, and this will publish on July 4th, is going to be Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. And for obvious reasons, July 4th, this is a summer romance, but I will say that this involves a male-male romance, so, consider that when you're picking this up. If that's something you are interested in, great, and if it's something you are not interested in and you know you will not enjoy, then you have that heads up before you pick it up. The next book for July is going to be Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. This is something that came out this year. I believe it was May 4th that this came out, and we'll be publishing our discussion on this one on July 18th. This is a romance, kind of like a second chance romance situation. You might consider it friends to lovers. There's a lot in here about to what degree fate shapes your life versus the degree that the people you meet shape how your life will turn out. And we talk a lot more about that in our episode for this. The next book that we're going to read, I'm actually going to have to pop up on the screen here because we have been unable to acquire a copy of this. We are actually going to be listening to this on audio thanks to the Libby app. That's going to be Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm sure everyone and their mother has heard of this book, but if you happen to live under a rock or use zero social media, then you would not know that this book has really blown up on Instagram, TikTok. It became really huge, probably in the last month and a half or so, to the point where it is literally sold out everywhere. And all the stores, I have holds, lots of places, they're just waiting for the publisher to send them more copies. The second book in this series is called Iron Flame, and it will be released in November. So, keep that in mind as well. The popularity means that the second book is probably going to sell very quickly as well. Anyway, Fourth Wing is going to be publishing on August 1st. The next book, it's going to kind of be our last strictly romance book of this summer, I guess, is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know basically nothing about this book, but Taylor Jenkins Reid is also a popular author. She blew up on social media over the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so that might be a title that you're familiar with. This was published originally in 2021, so not brand new, but also not terribly old. Again, I know nothing about it. The episode for this book will be publishing August 15th. And then on August 29th, to round out our discussion of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, we'll be publishing our discussion on A Court of Silver Flames. So if you've been looking forward to that, this is going to come out August 29th. It does follow different characters, so we're used to following Feyre as the main, and then we had a little bit of Reese's perspective at the end of book 2. But this is going to concentrate on Nesta, who is Feyre's older sister. So, yeah. Then coming into September, the last month I'm going to talk about in this specific video, we are going to start with The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This one is also not terribly old, but it is backlist book for this author. He's published 2 others since he published this, and this is, I want to say it's kind of like a fantasy, but it plays on there's magic involved, and it's like an orphanage for magical kids in some way. So I'm really interested in this. I've wanted to read it for a while, so I'm really glad we're able to get it onto the podcast for this year. And this is going to publish September 12th. I'm not sure if I said that. And then last but not least, in preparation for A Touch of Chaos to be released at the end of September. We're going to do an episode on 2 Scarlett St. Clair books, both A Touch of Ruin and A Touch of Malice. So yeah, we did do an episode last year on A Touch of Darkness, and these are the 2 that follow that. A Touch of Chaos is going to be book 4. Technically book 7 in the series, because there are some in Hades' perspective as well. But yeah, we're super excited to continue reading this Hades and Persephone retelling in a modern world. But yeah, if you're wondering, we leave off in the first book with Persephone and Hades' relationship is made public. So that's where we pick up in book 2, her trying to decide if that's okay with her or whatnot. So yeah, and this episode will be publishing on September 26th. That is everything that we're going to be reading for the next 3 months, July, August, and September. We are building up to spooky season again. We'll be publishing 1 episode a week in October for spooky season. So stay tuned for our next podcast, TBR, which will probably publish towards the end of September, to see everything that we're going to be reading for spooky season, which is really exciting. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!